what is happening on Twitter?
Well, it was a slow news week. Well, weekend, I guess, because a lot of people drop some big news on the weekends. But of course, Elon Musk had to stir the pot. He set up a new daily Twitter post reading limit. And basically, let's talk about what this means for crypto, because a lot of crypto companies have built their brand on crypto Twitter, same with NFTs. So apparently, Twitter is temporarily limiting the number of tweets users can read per day, separate limits for Twitter Blue subscribers and unpaid users. So basically, Elon Musk wants you to buy a product or a service. Verified accounts limited to reading 10,000 per day. Unverified accounts will have access to 1,000 per day. Initially set stricter limits, but changed within hours of announcing the move. It was so funny because if you were watching him live tweet this over the weekend, he said, okay, we're giving X. And then he said, okay, we're going to give X times 2 and then X times 3. So it kept getting bigger and bigger. But it also looked like it appears that he meant the scrapping of large amounts of data used by AI companies to train language models, which power chatbots like ChatGPT and Google's Bard. If you don't know what data scrapping is, it's the pulling of information from the internet. And I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's a little bit ridiculous because it's really not helping with the bot problem. But I guess there was rumors about other things that were kind of happening. Jen, do you want to take over here?
Yeah, we've seen Elon do this before, right? Announce a big change and then amend that change and then amend it again on the fly and then say it's temporary. And so who knows what's going to happen next, given the backlash that's happened. But Wendy, to your point, the data scraping seems to be the issue at the center of this. You know, a lot of big brands, advertisers, publishers use data scraping to measure sentiment, to see what people are saying about stories, about products. And so this is going to be a big hit on a lot of business, both I think within the crypto sector and outside of the crypto sector. What's interesting to me is Elon is the one who's out here announcing this. We haven't really heard from Twitter's new CEO, Linda Yaccarino. I would love to hear from her and find out how this particular change and other changes at Twitter are laddering up to the new strategy under her leadership. I think it's really interesting that she's come into the new role and we haven't really heard from her yet. Ben, what do you make of everything that's happening?
Yeah, I mean, Twitter's a really important public square for crypto, long has been. And I think Elon's also been a kind of controversial figure for crypto. On the one hand, he's seen as a champion of projects like Dogecoin. On the other hand, he's a kind of a figure of too much control. And this is an example of a Web2 medium, Twitter, not really playing by the rules of Web3, which is supposed to be more democratic, more pluralistic. And I think there's echoes here of what happened with Reddit the other day, where they wanted to kind of make restrictions on their use of their AI, and people backlashed against that. And it's sort of a similar story here, where you have this kind of Web2 model that's supposed to be free, but turns out not to be free when people weaponize it for, AI purposes or API purposes. So I see kind of echoes of that from that.
I put out a tweet about this over the weekend because I think it's just kind of ridiculous. Like TikTok pushes ads, like light ads. YouTube pushes light ads. If you pay for YouTube Premium, you see no ads. Facebook pushes ads. Like all these companies push ads. So I'm just not really understanding his angle. I get the abuse of AI and all of that type of stuff, but really at the same time, it's been a problem on the platform for a long time, especially when people use bots. So I'm not exactly sure what his angle is here. I feel like he kind of is not necessarily cut out to run a social media platform. I love that we're more free on the platform. I love that a lot of things have been exposed regarding speech and liberty. But at the same time, I don't necessarily think Elon's cut out for it. And the fact that we're not hearing from the current or new CEO says a lot to me, because Elon was so outgoing. He was so forward. And I feel like this person that's now taken over, she's probably going to embody what corporate America does and just sits back and makes decisions and not practice any type of good communication. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. I hope that I'm wrong, but I just don't see it playing out that way.
Do we think that people will now go to alternatives like Blue Sky? I mean, there was some stories over the weekend about that.
I finally got my Blue Sky invite the other day, and Ben, thank you for reminding me because I forgot to accept it. So I'm going to go and do that. Ben, to the sentiment conversation, I saw a lot of tweets over the weekend about people saying like, where are we going to go next? Like, is it TikTok? Is it Instagram? I don't know if it's either of those platforms, but at least on my feed, there's a lot of people, looking for alternatives. Although my own opinion is that people aren't really going to go anywhere. They're just going to continue to complain and accept defeat. What do you think, Ben?
I think it's kind of Twitter or nothing. I mean, the problem is that, why would you go to a platform where other people are not? So people are still on Twitter, it's still where the conversation is. So I guess we just have to complain and bear it.
Wendy, we need to get you in on this. I know you have your fans on TikTok.
I mean, TikTok has a lot more users than I want to say, or active users than I think any other social media platform. People have been all over TikTok for a very long time. I've actually advised multiple companies that I've consulted with, start a TikTok. The startup cost to market there is very affordable, especially when everybody was going viral, getting lots of views. Most of the companies didn't do that, and now they want to merge over to TikTok. And it's not necessarily that it's too late, but the algorithm, there's a lot more users there. Platform's a lot harder to go viral on. So I think that, there's different audiences on different of the social media platforms, and we'll just kind of have to wait it out and see what happens. I mean, at this point, there's still rumors that TikTok could potentially get banned due to the Restrict Act. So we'll kind of have to wait and see how that plays out. I don't know. I haven't seen the rate limit thing been inactive, but it wasn't really clear that, like, if you're scrolling your feed, does that count as tweets being read? Or if you're looking at your mentions, does that count as tweets being read? It wasn't really communicated well. So I'm still kind of confused if it's even happening. And I kind of feel like because of all the backlash, Elon's going to be like, oh, we're not going to do this.
I hope so.